Once you understand this, manifestation, specifically conscious manifestation, becomes much easier. When I grasped this concept, my doubts and fears about whether my 3D reality would align with my desired reality vanished. So let's dive in. There are two key points I want to discuss in this video. First, there is no out there out there. What do I mean by that? The 3D reality, what you perceive through your five senses, isn't separate from you, even though it might seem that way. It's simply a reflection of your consciousness. How you genuinely identify yourself and how you connect with others and yourself is what you will experience. While it may appear that people have their own opinions about you or the world, they are really just reflecting what you truly believe about yourself, not what you want to believe. You can try this yourself to better understand, but I'll share some examples from my life to illustrate the concept of the fact that there is no out there. So, I used to believe that men would always approach me because of how I looked. Although this might sound flattering, I actually hated it, especially when both young and older men approached me in that way. My assumption was that my appearance was the reason and that was the end of it. However, when I changed my perspective and altered how I dressed for a few days, opting for oversized t-shirts, nothing feminine, and not caring about my looks, I shifted my belief from being approached because of my looks to being approached because of my aura and energy. The very next day, I went to a store and a man commented on how nice it was that I didn't present myself like other women, yet my energy filled the entire room. Later on that day, a police officer approached me, complimented my magnetic presence, and asked for my number. So, my dear, it's not other people's fault how they present themselves to you or how they behave. The only cause is your state of being and how you honestly identify yourself. Let's consider another example. I sent a message to someone. This wasn't a specific person, so it wasn't romantic. It was simply an important official matter that I needed to resolve. However, that person left me on read. I realized that I didn't genuinely identify as someone who receives a response from that person. But I knew I could change my perspective. I told myself he was just busy with work and that I would get a response soon. The very next morning, I received a message, along with an apology explaining that he had been busy with work. While it might seem natural that people are busy on weekdays, this person had left me on read for a week, so he could have taken a minute to respond earlier, right? Later, when we spoke face to face, he admitted that he initially didn't care much about the message. But on that Monday, he had been so busy that he responded on Tuesday, citing his busyness. So, you see, I essentially changed the past, making him busy at first and then getting the response. So these are simple examples, but their purpose is to help you understand that every single thing in this 3D world is a reflection of your state of being. No one intends to harm you or do bad things to you out of their own free will, okay? By knowing that there is no out there, and that everything happens as in a dream in your mind, where you are the director of this movie, you'll understand that everything happens for a reason. And that reason is your consciousness. You might now ask, how will this help me manifest my biggest desires? I'll clarify this with another example rather than just sharing theoretical concepts. Let's say you want to manifest a job and you have a few specific criteria. The type of colleagues, the salary, the location, okay? Write this down on a paper to be clear with yourself about what you truly want. The boss, the recruiter, everyone at that firm will reflect your state of being. It doesn't matter how much you've studied, your degree, or anything else, even if it seems like those things matter. You believe they do. Now, let me share my personal example. I wanted to apply for a programming job connected to finance with a specific high salary. Despite having limited experience, I only had a bachelor's degree and an application that I created for my diploma. Every other candidate was rejected, even though the job required 5 years of experience. I didn't have that. They had that. But during the technical interview, the interviewers were amazed, surprised by my application. Now, you might say that that's why I deserve the job. But previously, no one had been good enough without 5 years of experience. I changed my perspective, believing I would get the job because of my innovative ideas in the application. I gave myself a reason to genuinely identify with having the job, not just saying I have it. So people fail to manifest things not because it's impossible, but because they can't honestly identify as the person who already has it. You might need reasons or some external reassurance, but use them to help you genuinely identify as that person. If you don't, your honest identity will be that you're not good enough, for example. Not that the law doesn't work, okay? The law works so perfectly that it's beyond your imagination. It works so perfectly. That's why you didn't get that job. People who do get the job do so because they believe in themselves. The reason can be anything: years of experience, how they were treated at university by professors, how they were treated by family, or how people treat them when they solve something in real life. Their honest identity is reflected. The second point I want to discuss is that the 3D as a reflection cannot cause another 3D event. What do I mean by that? Let's say you have a fight with someone and it seems like they are hurt because of your words. The reality is they are hurt because you manifested that, and your words are just part of a different reality. But if you change your perspective and believe that they are hurt because they were unheard in childhood, and your words reminded them of those events, they reflect this belief maybe in future discussions. They won't say they are hurt because of your words, but because they were reminded of something from their past. So the moment you change your perspective, your identity, state of being, that is what gets manifested. The cause is you, not the 3D event or action. It's what you believe about that action. So if you want to attract a specific person, be it a boss, a romantic partner, a best friend, a parent, you don't need to make radical changes or identify as a totally different person, especially when that seems difficult. Your honest identity will always be reflected anyways. So as I've shown, try to change your perspective about the situation. For example, if you currently being rejected in a romantic relationship. Consider that the person might be preparing themselves mentally for a mature, honest, beautiful relationship with you. They don't want to hurt you, so they are taking time to heal their traumas and not bring them into your relationship. This is just one perspective, but in my opinion, it's easier to believe this than to convince yourself you're already in a relationship with them. Especially when you're at the beginning of your manifestation journey and you find it hard to grasp that you're the cause every single time. I have many personal examples, but I won't share them all. Instead, I encourage you to try this for yourself and see from your own experience that every time you are the cause. When you don't like something in your life, nothing else is to blame. Not the system, not your parents, not your partner, not your job, not your financial situation. The only person responsible is you. But the wonderful thing about this is that you're responsible for everything that happens in your life. Then you can direct everything in your life in your favor, and no one else has a saying. I sincerely hope this video helps on a deeper level and makes your journey much easier. Until next time, have a wonderful day. Love you. Bye.